Hey everyone, it's Michael. I hope you're doing well today, and I have a review here for Twisted Metal 3 for the PS1. But before I actually get into the review here, I have a couple of things I need to talk about briefly about the last couple of videos I did for Twisted Metal games. Probably about a month and a half ago, I reviewed the first two games of Twisted Metal, and I really loved a lot of Twisted Metal 1. I thought it could be improved, obviously so. In Twisted Metal 2, when I reviewed it, I actually said that I liked the first game more, that I didn't see the appeal so much for Twisted Metal 2, even though it had great locations, better graphics in a lot of ways. But I thought that Twisted Metal 1 was better. And I told you guys, I think that I wanted to go back and replay Twisted Metal 2 again, but like with cheats or something, just to see if it would be better. And I gotta tell you, man, Twisted Metal 2 is my favorite right now. Well, Small Brawl I still think is kind of my favorite. It's the most cartoonish. I like the locations, like the movie theater and stuff. But Twisted Metal 2, I need to go back and re-review at some point. I thought about pulling that review down, but then I decided not to. I'll probably just do, since my channel's inspired after Brown Coat Eric, I'll probably just do another video at some point, since I've already replayed through it again, all the way through in like a day, in the time frame I had. I love Twisted Metal 2. I think it's fantastic. It's right up on the heels of Small Brawl as my favorite. But anyway, I finally got around to playing Twisted Metal 3, and I had heard that 3 and 4 were super controversial, and I didn't know why. Now that I've played it, I totally get it. I totally get it. But I don't hate this game, to be honest with you. I think there's a lot of good in here, to be honest with you. But it is a mess. It does have gigantic issues with it. Now, just so you know, and I didn't know this going into it, 989 Studios at this point had the rights to the series now. They had bought them or inherited them or something. I don't know how that happened. But they got the rights to the Twisted Metal games, and 3 and 4 apparently are very different. When I look at the covers, like the back of like 4, it looks like Small Brawl. And I'm assuming Small Brawl is also made by these people. I could be wrong about that too. Again, I think that's the 5th game. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's before Twisted Metal 4. I don't know. But Twisted Metal 3 is so distinctly different in so many ways that I don't know if I love this game at all. I don't know if I would go that far. But I like a lot of it, but it has a lot of issues. It has a lot of controlling issues, especially, man. It feels like the cars. I mainly played as Axel because I really like Axel, especially when I played as him in 2. But then there's like issues with him. The bigger your car is, the easier it flips, and it seems like every time you're driving around, the slightest thing, the slightest nudge from another car, your car is going to flip upside down, and then you have to wait for it to like shrink and then regrow back in the same position, if that makes sense. Like it almost like it goes out of a dimension to some other dimension, flips upside down correctly to where it needs to be, and then comes back. Well, why would that have to happen with Axel? He's literally 2 gigantic wheels with a guy in between him. He could drive upside down. It'd be fine. I don't understand that. But that whole constantly being able to be flipped, it's a problem. It's a big issue with this game, in my opinion. But a lot of the other like power-ups and missiles and stuff, I want to say like 75% of them I actually like. And when you're playing the game with cheat codes, which is what I eventually had to do to beat this game because it is such a mess if you do not play with cheat codes. And even trying to enter the cheat codes on the password page thing, where you usually just put those in to get the level that you wanted to play. You put in a certain button combo. Even putting in cheats on there, it's not like Twisted Metal 1 and 2, at least from what I remember of 1. I know for sure 2 does this. Where it'll make a sound effect, where you know that the cheat code you put in worked, I don't know what's up with that. I don't know why that's done so poorly here, and I also don't understand between 2 and 3 why, no matter where you go online trying to get cheat codes for this to put in that passwords page, it seems like no one has the real passwords, and then you find them every once in a while, but it's like 2 or 3 out of like the 4 or 5 on a page will be correct or wrong, depending on the place you go. I had to go to multiple websites to get the right codes for this, for the cheats for the game, because I wanted to try them out like that. Because again, I personally really like the locations in this game. I think it has a lot to offer with the settings. You can go to like Egypt with the pyramids there. You can go to fucking the North Pole where Santa's house is and just destroy everything. There's basically an empty moat around that North Pole place, and it's so beautiful to me. Being a huge Christmas fan, oh, I loved it, dude. It reminded me of the episode of Billy and Mandy when they go to the North Pole and everything's been destroyed, and Santa's like a vampire now and stuff. Really great episode if you haven't seen it before. But that's what this reminded me of, the whole location and look of it with the giant candy canes and everything. Really inspired in that regard. And apparently, 989 Studios had to rebuild, or not rebuild, but create a whole new engine for this. They didn't get the engine when they got the rights to this Twisted Metal game series. So they had to make their own engine. And it plays different. Again, even sometimes I don't really understand what's up with this, but when you're pushing that up directional pad button, D-pad button, whatever we're calling it, when you push that and you steer with the buttons right beside it, left and right on that same D-pad, your hand starts to cramp after a while. And I had to take breaks, man, when I was playing through this over the last couple of times I played it. In the sense of like where I broke up the one storyline playthrough into a couple of days, like about a week apart. Because it was cramping my hand up, man. You know, my hand's already jacked up from what I do at work and stuff. But it's also from reading at home and books and stuff, whether it be on the Kindle, whether it be a physical book. It gives you kind of this carpal tunnel-y feeling sometimes. And this game was cramping my hand up, and I don't remember ever having that issue with Twisted Metal 1 and 2. I'm pretty sure it's the same control scheme. But with that up D-pad button, it feels like the cars sometimes, I don't know why, it's not a terrain issue, it feels like they go slower. Sometimes, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's like some kind of effect that somebody else's, like the different cars have like specific special attacks they can do outside of the main power-up, missiles and stuff you get. I don't know if it's like that, like I got too close to somebody who had some ability that I didn't know about. I don't know. And as far as I can tell, I think the only person who came back for Twisted Metal 3 from the second game and first game, well, you know what I mean, like the newcomers to Twisted Metal 2, was Axel. I don't think anybody else is here from that. And you have some new cars. I think one of them was like Flower Power, and then there's like an old lady who drives Hammerhead in here. And her story I thought was kind of funny. I didn't complete it, but I thought the general character bio they gave you here made me laugh, not gonna lie. But let me talk about this too. I don't think I've covered this. When I got into this for the first time, when I played it for the first time the other day, like a week ago, like I said, it seemed to me like just graphically, this is such a massive step down from Twisted Metal 2. And in some respects, I would say it looks uglier than Twisted Metal 1. Now, the music's good. I think the soundtrack they have here is really good. I think Rob Zombie's even here, as far as I know. He may have done the whole soundtrack. I don't know. But I definitely think there's at least one song he did here, maybe two. Music's really good. It might even have the best soundtrack of the whole series at this point for me. But the actual look of the game, it looks like those weaker games you used to see on PS1. So I could see people playing this and being like, well, fuck this game, and never playing it again. I could totally see that, even though I think it's kind of fun. And again, a lot of those locations I think are really fun for the game too. Like at the end, you fight on a big blimp. And there's a little bit of there's more to that than just killing other passengers, other drivers. That's what I meant. It's not a fucking plane. I mean, it is a plane, but it's not a plane where we're just chilling civilly. So, yeah, I mean, there's more to that blip final showdown, and I don't know if I could have ever beaten that without cheats because of how ridiculously overpowered some of the other people are in this game. You have to be ready for this game because other people will just run over you, and like I said, you flip so easy. It pisses you off after a while. I think I played through the first few levels without cheats, and I was getting my ass beat. I was barely making it. I think a couple of those I had to play through a couple of times before I was like, well, fuck this. Like, this whole new getup, this whole new setup, this new engine and everything causes too many problems. You got to play it with cheats, in my personal opinion. And you could call me a normie all you want, but I think Twisted Metal games are so much fun, but they're even better when you have the cheat codes. Especially in here, I think this is the only game that has this, but I could be wrong. There's like a giant Looney Tunes Acme-style bomb that you can shoot out, and it just bounces all over the place, almost like a pinball game. And it'll just go back and forth in all the locations until it hits a car, or it falls off into like a pit of water or something, you know? But most locations, it can just bounce all over the walls, and if you send out like 1 million of these things, dude, you trying to avoid those things and the other competitors just getting hit left and right and you sitting up in a high point and watching them, it's great. I love that part of it, man. But yeah, Twisted Metal 3, it's got a lot of problems. Again, graphically, it's a mess. The driving is a mess. If you can get over the driving issues and the power-ups and like special abilities not being the best ever, it doesn't feel as good to me as part 1 and part 2, and even the sound design, in my personal opinion, not being as good as 1 and 2. If you can get over those things, I think you'll appreciate it. I think you'll have a good time. But I've heard that if you're willing to be forgiving, I heard Twisted Metal 4 is better than this. I heard that 989 Studios really improves. And again, if they made Small Brawl, I totally believe it, because I love Small Brawl. I think that's a fucking brilliant game. And again, it's probably my favorite of the whole series, so far anyway. It's very untraditional, and again, 4 looks like it's going to be a lot like that, but I hope it's as good for me personally. So anyway, Twisted Metal 3, what do you guys think about it? Put your thoughts and comments down below. Do you love this one? Do you hate it? Again, I wish I had taken my time before I made my review for Twisted Metal 2, because that's really, really great. I like it a lot more than I did the first time I tried to play through it. Thank you all for watching, guys. God bless you all. Catch you later, and goodbye.